Hey, 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 and welcome back to the Fully Booked Photographer Podcast. And oh my gosh, do we have exciting news for you. We have the most awesome news on the planet. Brad, talk to us. Talk to us about the Difference Maker Revolution and what it means.
Wow, that's quite a loaded question, that, Ron, isn't it? What is the Difference Maker Revolution and what does it mean? It's quite actually hard to explain now that you've asked me the question. I suppose the Difference Maker Revolution is the coming together of 5 individuals in the photographic industry, all with a shared set of beliefs and values and a vision to improve not just the business of our industry, but to save its soul. We all believe it's important. We've called it a revolution because we think it will completely change the industry as we see it, and we've named it the Difference Maker Revolution. That word Difference Maker came from an earlier podcast. It's quite funny if you've listened to the podcast for a while. You can kind of see this building. It's like an interesting series where if you listen to all us just ramble and talk, all these ideas have eventually formed. Because we believe that we're difference makers, not photographers. And that's what our industry should be all about. It should be about changing our clients' lives, empowering them, transforming them, benefiting them, helping them to help us, whether that be our own self-worth or whether that's financially. Because we believe that photography has kind of been led astray over many decades by people trying to peddle you nonsense and terrible education, and that it's all about artwork and it's nothing to do with artwork. It's about how you make people feel. And then we stuck the word revolution on the end to make it sound cool. And to hopefully gain traction, because we want traction. We want it to be chaotic. We want it to cause a stir. We want to do a bit of a rug pull on the industry. We want to be the villain and the hero all wrapped in one. I think that's what we're going for with the word revolution.
Because Janine, it has to be, right? It has to be a revolution, as Brad says, for the soul of the industry. Because the guide path that the industry is on, we believe that it's not the right guide path in terms of where it's going. And we don't believe that anyone strategically sat down and designed it to be so. But it has just sort of evolved that way. And we've talked about that, going back to what Brad said on earlier podcasts as well, as to how this is. But for you, why, what is the biggest reason why the industry needs this difference maker revolution?
Well, Ronan, to me, it's very clear that if things continue on the path that they're on, photographers, I believe, will cease to exist. There won't be a need because the focus has been on the wrong area. And when we focus simply on the art that's created and the images that are created and not on the changes and the difference and the transformations we're making for our clients, then the talk of AI coming and taking over, it'll be reality. Because if we're not providing an experience for our clients, if we're not changing their lives, if we're not making a difference to their families, to their children, then why are we here? Why are we here ever? Honestly, I actually think that our our forefathers in the photography industry probably understood it better than photographers today, that they were making a difference in the lives of their clients and bringing families together for these important historical moments of documenting families year over year. And I think somewhere that kind of got lost in the focus on the art and the focus on being better than the 30,000 photographers in your town, and our industry has seen so many changes. We went from film, it used to be only 1 or 2 photographers in a town, right? Because only that many people had the knowledge or the access or the money to buy expensive equipment. And then when we went from film to digital, everybody thought the industry was going to come to an end then, right? Because, oh my gosh, with the invention of digital, anybody can buy a camera and anybody can take a photo. And we saw a huge shift in the industry when that happened. And all of the education and a lot of our professional associations kind of almost catered to it because they got numbers. And so now we're seeing another shift with the onset of AI. And if we don't understand and go back to the core of what we do as photographers, yeah, it's needed. Because if you don't understand why we are taking photographs of people, then you're right, AI will just come and destroy you. And so I hate to use harsh language like that, but it's true, you know? And so we have to understand that. We have to have this revolution. Like Brad has said, it's the soul of the industry. It's the mindset of the photographers. What are we actually here for? Why are we here? You know, and, you know, it's one thing to say you're making a difference in someone's life and just saying it because you're at a networking event, but it's another thing to truly mean it, live it, and structure your entire business model around it.
So, Jonathan, for you, what is this revolution about, this difference maker revolution?
Wow, that's a loaded question. So, I said to you over Christmas that for me, I've never been happier than I am right now, because at any point in time in my life, especially looking from the outside in at the photographic industry, because what gives me the most joy and what's a huge part of my why is helping others be successful. That's what drives me. I just love seeing others succeed. You know, some of our members have me in tears all the time hearing about what they've achieved and done in their business and how they've, you know, not only been successful as a business owner, but have also made a difference to their clients' lives. And that whole kind of flow through the whole journey, you know, we're helping our clients are helping their clients, and as a result, we're all, you know, living our lives that we love as difference makers. So we're all difference makers in some extent. And spending so much time around, you know, this wonderful team, and now with Steve Saporito, who's joining us, it became really evident to me. I now understand what it's about. I get it. And I feel like a lot of, like you said, photographers don't fully get it. You know, they're talking about, if I come across photographers, they're talking about how they're a luxury and it's all about me and it's all about my amazing artwork and it's all about my clients want me and they want my amazing artwork. And your clients don't want that. Your clients aren't buying canvases. They're not buying folio boxes. They're not buying frames. They're not buying albums. Your clients are buying a piece of themselves. Your clients are buying, you know, reconnection with their family. Your clients are buying confidence. Your clients are buying belief in themselves that they're doing a great job as a dad or as a mum. And the artwork that you create is a constant reminder today, now, not legacy, not in the future. It's a reminder today that they are doing an amazing job as a parent, or that, you know, their dog loves them, you know, or that, and they love their dog, or that they have an amazing family who share this incredible connection. And that's what, as difference makers, we help our clients to feel and see and be. And I've never been more pumped up and motivated to make this revolution happen, to allow photographers see that they're more than just selling photography and selling product. They're more than that. It's not about that for them. It's not about being a luxury. It's not about them. It's about using their incredible skills as photographers to be a difference maker in the lives of their clients. And when you do that, when you realize you're in the business of people, not the business of photography, not only do you get to transform your clients' lives, but you'll be rewarded as a result. And the people who become difference makers, you know, we're seeing that they're getting bookings easily. They're making incredible sales, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6K sales, beyond 10K, 20K. And it's not because they're selling canvases, folio boxes and albums. It's because they have elevated their clients to a new level. They've allowed their clients to see their true value and their true worth. And their clients are investing that because that's what they believe they are worth. And that's the difference that it's making to them. It's making it priceless to their clients. And it's not about the amazing art. And this is the revolution that we all need to fast track, because if we don't, AI is coming for you. I see the future. And it's like, once you be transactional and you focus on products and images, selling images and focus on yourself, AI is going to take you out.
All right. And that might be reality, but it goes beyond our industry, doesn't it? It goes beyond. This is not about saving our industry on its own, right? This is just a reality from what we believe is going to happen if you don't pivot your business. And every business and every industry, you know, needs to pivot when things change. You know, like when the car came out, you know, and I can't remember the blacksmiths who used to change, you know, the shoes and the horses. They were no longer needed, right? But the beauty about what we do as difference makers, as photographers, we are needed when we don't make it about photography. And when you think about that, and when you start to think about creating clients' transformational experiences and creating artwork that every day makes them to feel a certain way, and you extrapolate that out a little bit and you think about that, right? That's one step in the journey. But if you then start to think about, so how do your clients feel when they see their artwork and they go out into the world? Who are they impacting just because they have experienced their transformational journey? So for me, this goes beyond our industry. It goes right into all of society. That when we become difference makers, when we help people rediscover their confidence or celebrate their confidence or reconnect with people they love or realize that their dog will always be there for them and love them, wherever that is, and your artwork reminds that person every day, they're going to go out into the world as happier, friendlier people. And I don't know if you guys do this, but it's funny, the power of a smile. And I know I talk about a smile different. I'm going to talk about it in a different way today, right? But it's interesting. I don't know if you've ever done this, but when I go out for a walk, no matter where it is, you know, and I meet people, I look at them, I wish them good day, and I smile at them. And when you do that, when you see their face light up, somebody has seen me. Somebody has recognized me. Somebody has gone out of their way just to say hello. Like, more people are going to do that who experience a transformational photographic experience and are reminded every day by the work that's displayed in their home when they walk out that door that they can be happy with themselves, they can respect themselves, they become confident in themselves, and will have a positive impact well beyond just the clients that we serve through this industry. To me, that's what this industry is all about. That's why we should exist on this planet. Otherwise, why should we exist if we make it about photography? Is it okay to cry now? I feel like I want to cry.
Everyone's been dumbed into silence.
I'm not going to cry.
Why is it personal for you, Ronan?
Brad, you know my story. Why is it personal for me? So it's deeply personal, Brad, because I'm one of those people who always ask why. Why does something happen? And I look back and I say, what was the cause and effect? When something goes wrong, I say, what could I have done to make sure it didn't go wrong? And it's personal, Brad, because I have an amazing son, Jonathan, who's on this podcast, and I have 3 daughters, and our amazing middle daughter, Freya, had a really difficult time growing up. She was an attempted suicide. She was being bullied in school, and we didn't see, and I didn't see as her dad, what she was actually lacking, because she always came across as the most confident of our children, which is strange, right? She came across as the one that was confident and had the most friends and was airy, but she was living a life of darkness and hell because she was being bullied, and the way people made her feel, and she felt that she wasn't good enough, and she felt that she got to a stage where she thought she deserved to be on this planet. and that life would be easier if she wasn't. And that was a hard time, and just not to end up, it ended up really, really well. She's now 26. She's met the love of her life. They've got engaged. They've bought their first home. Everything's good, right? So everything turned out well. But I look back at that time, and when I started to realize, you know, how you can be a difference maker with photography and how it can give people confidence and see it actually work. It sort of dawned on me that I always had this question, there has to be more to this photography thing. And I always thought it was around that photography was important. And I didn't really, though, put the value on the importance myself, because we had photography of the children when they were very, very small. But we didn't continually invest in it. You know, we went on holidays instead of investing in photography and all that. And I'm convinced today that if we had invested in Freya discovering the amazing person she is and have the confidence to go out into the world, that she would have had the confidence to stand up to that bully and would never have ended up where she did. And I think that if this difference maker revolution just helps one other person in the world, right, that they don't end up like Freya or even go beyond that, wow. What a legacy to leave, if even just for one person. So that's why it's deep to me, Brad.
We've achieved that already, and we'll achieve so much more.
It's like the weirdest podcast ever. We're all fucking in tears, and we weren't meant to be excited about this revolution.
I know. We are excited, though. We are excited.
I think it's important to see what's behind our words. You know, because words themselves are often meaningless. It's the action that matters, and it's what drives that action, which is the most important thing. So I'm sorry to crowbar you into that, Ronan, but I thought it was important that we don't try and do this difference maker revolution as a gimmick to get you to sign up to our training, to make money, to leverage you or build our own positions or anything like that. We're doing it because we care. We're trying to save the soul of our industry. We're trying to help and make a difference, hence why it's Difference Maker Revolution. Try to make a difference in as many people's lives as we possibly can. That's why we started the podcast. So it's why we sit here and ramble every Friday.
It is, and that's where this came from, right, Brad, too, is that like there's an abundance of people who need what you can do as a difference maker. When you make it not about you, when you make it not about your photography, when you make it about the work you create having meaning today, as Jonathan said a little bit earlier, it's not about legacy on its own, and we're not saying that's not important. But when you refocus and say, what does our work do for our client today, and how does it make them feel today, and then how does it make them feel tomorrow, and then how does it make them feel forever? That's three different lenses to look at what we do through, rather than being focused on legacy alone, because we have to make the difference today. We live in today. Because by helping people to live in today helps them live tomorrow and helps them live forever. And that's legacy. And live their life in a happy way and being comfortable in their own skin and being know that they deserve to be loved for who they are and know that they can love again. And these are all things we've seen from our members, right? In the Fully Booked Photographer who've gone on this journey. And we mentioned Steve a little bit earlier, and for me, Steve is the person in our industry who knows the how of this better than anyone. And I think that's why the four of us have connected with Steve too. And we can see that, you know, he has way more knowledge on the implementation of being difference makers than any of us. But we bring a whole of other things to that. And that's why I believe that it was the absolutely right thing, not for us, but for photographers and for society, for us to come together. And to that the sum of the parts is so much greater, that this revolution will succeed for those who want it to succeed. And Janine talked, I think it was Janine talked a little bit earlier about, some people will go, what a whole load of rubbish. Like I know somebody who said to me, Ronan, when you came out with this, I thought it was, oh, here's just another marketing ploy from Ronan, you know. And that's why now that I think back on this podcast, Brad, I'm happy that you asked me the question, because I think you're right. Because some people are skeptical, right? And the people who are skeptical are probably the people who don't really have a heart, you know, and don't really haven't figured out their why, and haven't figured out why they exist on this planet. And that's sad. And I was like that for decades. And the happiest moment I had was when I figured it out. And I set about a plan then to lead us to where we are today. And we're only at the beginning. But am I excited? Yes, I am so excited, because I believe that in the soul and heart of most photographers, they truly want their work to make a difference and have a legacy. But that drive is about them. And when they make the transition where they know they've made their work is making a difference to their clients, because it's about their clients, and that difference is today, tomorrow, and forever. Like, who wouldn't want to do that?
It's funny. Like, I am not creative, and I am not, you know, anyway visual. Very not visual. You'll see some of the landing pages I built. They need to be very prettified. I'm good at advertising, good at marketing, good at copywriting, and good at helping people and coaching people, but prettiness and visualizing things is not my forte. That's okay, but seeing what like Janine, Brad have done, seeing what we've helped our members achieve, seeing what Steve's doing with his members, and seeing the difference we're making, you know, it inspires. I keep saying to Brad and Janine, I want to get behind the lens. I want to be a difference maker. I want to, you know, run some transformational experiences, because it's inspiring. It really is inspiring. Someone who has no interest in photography, you know, ever, me personally, it's actually inspired me to want to put on some transformational experiences to help people and to learn it simply because of the difference it can make. And we keep joking about it every time. Janine keeps joking, oh, Jono's going to get behind the lens, but it's not a joke. I'm going to pick up a camera this year. I'm that inspired.
I never thought I'd ever hear you say that, John.
Jeez, I'm so emotional today. It's weird. What the hell is going on? This is not the intention at all.
No, but it is a celebration. And Brad is absolutely right, is that it's important that the people who are listening to this podcast realize that this is not a marketing gimmick. It's not a trick. It's based in a true belief in what people need, a true belief in that we truly have lost our way as an industry. And look at how many people who've missed out on what we could truly deliver for them. So forget AI and forget the threats and forget that. Just rechannel your focus to realize that it's about what we can add to people. It's about what we can do for people in our communities who need us, right? Who are lost, who are living days of hell like Freya did, you know, and end up reaching a stage where they start to question their existence. Like, and it doesn't even have to go that far, but just people not being happy, not being able to smile, not being able to go for a walk and say hello and smile at a fellow human. Like, that's sad. And I know I'm a metrics person and all that, but like, I've gone on walks and I've counted how many people do I meet on a walk and they're walking with their head down as if they're carrying the world on their shoulders. And it's 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 people. And it's only a small quantitative survey, but when they go by me, I say hello and I smile at them, and 3 out of those 9 look up, smile, and say hi. Like, it's so easy to make someone's day by just knowing that someone has seen them. Somebody has said hello. It's simple. It's easy. It costs us nothing. It's just us being genuine humans.
So that's the soul of what it means to be a difference maker. I suppose we need to do another one to talk about the logistics. about what's going to happen, what's going to change.
Yeah, I guess we could do that in another podcast and next podcast. But I think people fear change, don't they? And the initial reaction of photographers who are listening to this and are going, do I really have to reinvent everything I do? And really you don't. So everything you've learned to become the great photographer you are will help you be a better difference maker. Because you won't have to think about how do I take a great photograph. You won't have to think about, are my lights set up right? You won't have to think about, can I do this? Because you can photograph. What that allows you do, it allows you concentrate 1000% on your client, because that's who it's about. And 1000% on what does your client need their transformation to be? And what do I need to photograph so that every day when my clients look at the artwork displayed on the wall or in their album or in their folio box, what emotion is that triggering in them? How do they feel when they see that artwork? So they do go out into the world with a smile. It's all we need to do, is make them smile every day, feel good about themselves, feel good about their relationships, realize that they're loved, realize that they, like every one of us, deserve to be on this planet and be happy. That's all we need to do. As a step one, we just need to make that mental switch and refocus our lens to realize that it's not about our photography. People don't value you as an artist. Let me ask you a question. So, you guys who are listening to this podcast, are you listening to this podcast for Brad, Janine, Jonathan, and I? Be honest. No, you're not. You're listening for yourself to say, is there something I can learn from this podcast that can help make my life better? That's why you're here. That's why you're listening. That's why you're watching on YouTube. And your clients are the same. It's not about you as the photographer when you're dealing with your client. It's about what can you do for them? How are they going to be different when they go through your transformational experience? How are you going to deliver them something that's of true value? And it's not about the product. It's not about the product that's displayed on the wall, whether it's a canvas or it's an acrylic or it's got a particular molding on it. It's not about any of that. It's about how does that make them feel? And that's the first step, I think, Brad, to answer your question. I've taken a long time to answer. In this journey is just to refocus their lens on why are they truly here? And how can they make a difference to their clients? So I think we've done enough in this podcast. What do you think? I certainly need to recover. I need to wipe my eyes and refocus my brain for the next one, because we don't record these podcasts live, guys. We record more than one at a time. And we do have to record the next one for you. So we promise, now that you've seen our soul, and our hearts, and you've seen the what this is about and where we need to start. In the next podcast, we might go in a little bit to the operational side of things, Brad, if that's where we want to go, and talk about why you should come and see us at Imaging USA. If you're at Imaging USA, we're so excited to see you all. And yeah, we'll bring it from there. So from me for now, goodbye and see you soon.
Bye, everyone.
See you later.
Goodbye, everybody.